What's up, everyone? It's Willette with Urbex and Coasters, and today is going to be a 2 mountain coaster and park day. So 3 location day. So let's get into things. To start things off, we are at Hassenhorn Mountain Coaster. These are 3 parks in Germany. We're going to be at Europa tomorrow, but we're doing 3 small things today. So let's get into it. This is really interesting. The alpine coaster is not full circuit. It just ends right there. And the gondola will actually be what lifts up those alpine coaster vehicles, and I will try to get a picture of that if I can for you guys. So here's a look at the coaster, and being that the lift is this, the track would not be included in the track length. So even though it didn't look a lot longer than some of the ones in America, it is because of the downhill track length. And if you look up ahead, I know you should be able to see some green. Let's wait until I can get the right angle of it, because it should be going down from that tower a little bit, so that you can get the right angle on it. But you should see it on camera with the green thing up there, with the green ride vehicle. Yeah, look up there. That is the lift for this alpine coaster. What do you think of that? You know, hey, having signs like this, not helpful. These rides do have some amount of auto braking, and it will always activate as a safety feature. There is no danger of the vehicles colliding with one another, so putting this up here just puts it in the heads of neurotypicals that they need to go slower on these, and you know, that just ruins it for those of us who want to go full speed if we're behind a slow rider. So vegan, stop putting these signs up at your rides. So I don't even need a second to think about it. This is the best alpine coaster layout I've done. It has a 5 down on it that provides some very giggle-inducing airtime. I will say it was auto-braking me throughout the layout though, so didn't love that it was doing that, but you know, it's got a good layout, and for the price, I'd say it was a pretty good mountain coaster. Definitely better than all the ones I've done in America. But yeah, so that is my thoughts on that mountain coaster. I wish I could do it without auto braking, but it does have some great moments of laterals and some giggle-inducing little airtime pops even with that auto braking. So great mountain coaster here. So we are at location number 2, and we have another alpine coaster here. I guess this is going to be like Pigeon Forge in Branson, where you can do multiple alpine coasters in the same day. As you can see, there are not lights on these vehicles, so you know what that means. That means that this one does not have auto braking. So we're going to see how this one rides. This is the same owners though, so we'll see if they put some sort of governors in these, because I have seen it where I get all excited when I don't see the lights because of auto braking, and turns out that they've got governors in them. So we'll see, but you know, this one could be really good, seeing that it doesn't have auto braking. So this alpine coaster is in fact trimmed. It's just that instead of using a computer, it uses this central rail. So there is that, but I mean, it was fun. And here you can take a look at it. It's a fun little ride, very scenic. You can see the park has a creek like this, and we've got some bobsleds over there that we're gonna do that we can take a gondola up to. So pretty neat. And take a look at that beautiful looking creek there. Hashtag not a coaster. We've got a Mock Rides dark ride in here that has some nice looking theming, so we are going to check it out. So that's a pretty short dark ride. It's only got 3 scenes, but it does do 3 laps. You've got 2 flashing light rooms, and you've got it going around an igloo basically. So Yeah, it's a high-speed dark ride though, so I'd say that definitely adds to it, but yeah, it's a cool ride that they have inside. They also have a vegan powered bobsled in here. Also hashtag not a coaster. It's every bit as much of a coaster as a mock mine train, and I don't think the mock mine trains are coasters. At least not those types. The mock gravity mine trains like Capital Express in Quebec City, that is a coaster. They have one of these at Toverland. They have one of these at Schwaben Park. I keep getting Schwaben Park and Steinwassen confused, but they've got some theming here, as you can see. And we'll see what this one is like. Alright, so that vegan powered bobsled, it does have more elevation change than the other ones that I have done, but also it feels like there's a lot of active deceleration on some of those downhill sections, so you can very much tell that it is not gravity driven. So we've got a gondola ride that is included with the park admission here, and as you can see, there are some ruins on this hill. Look at that tunnel right there, at that little igloo-like thing. There's a bunch of... It's sad looking at this as a clear cut, potentially. Hope they didn't just clear cut these for the alpine coaster, cause, or for this gondola, because I mean it's cool to have it, but I hope that this wasn't clear cut for this. I'll just say that. So right here we have a bobsled slide, and this is probably my favorite attraction here in this park. So, like, I mean, you take the gondola up to it and then you ride down, and I mean, there is the ejection risk on these, so you do have to brake for those turns, but you can go mostly unbraked on this one. There isn't too much ejection risk, and I think this one's pretty good. And aww, these ones are so cute. Look at that. Why would anyone want to eat these guys? And yes, that is the origins of why I became a vegetarian, in case you are wondering. Have a look at the mountains. There's the alpine coaster and the bobsleds that are coming down through there. We've got the two bobsleds. One is covered. You can see it's underneath that. There goes the alpine coaster. We've got some mountaintops. There's the alpine coaster on low. And then across from that awesome bridge that we just went across, we've got some cool stonework here. This is the close view of it. I did say earlier that I hope they didn't clear cut all that to put the gondolas in, and I mean, I really do hope that that wasn't clear cut for the gondolas, but you know, gotta love all of this, all of the rocks. You've got another one of those things over there. I can see it's bolted shut, but there's the other one right there. There you go. Like, I mean, I wonder what the history behind those things is, those things being here, because, you know, that's interesting to have those things. And we've got a closed pathway here. Uh-oh. We're doing some urbex. Look at that. You can see why it's closed, because it's overgrown like that. That fence is falling apart, but, you know, it would be interesting to hike up that. I am going to say this does feel like a more family-oriented version of Glenwood Caverns. You know, you've got the mountain coaster, you've got the gondola, you've got a very nature-based mountainy park. I wish they had some thrill rides, because, you know, imagining using this cliffside for a scream and swing or something like that, you know, that could be pretty good. Or even if you wanted family rides up here that were about the visuals, like having a wave swinger perched over a cliffside, that would be awesome. This is probably a less common shot of the alpine coaster with the lift hill. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the cable is moving there, so that's pretty neat. So there's a shot at how it works. There are the sleds for their bobsled riding up their lift, and there is the gondola for people to go up. So that's gonna do it here for our day at Steinwassen, and that other alpine coaster that I'm forgetting the name of. It's gonna come to me, but our 2 alpine coaster day. We decided not to do the 3rd location today, but we will get that 3rd location later. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Final thoughts on this park. Wish it was more Glenwood Cavernsy with the naturey aspect of it, and it had thrill rides associated with that rather than just being family rides. But, you know, still really cool to have alpine coasters, gondolas, bobsleds, that sort of stuff all in one place that you get unlimited rides on. I thought that was really neat, and the bridge was really neat. The areas you could walk through the park were really neat. The animals really neat. Great place that I recommend coming. The one thing I will say, it's a little bit ridiculous that they, on their dark ride that they consider a roller coaster, that the front few rows are reserved for VR. Like, the rows that are most about the view are reserved for VR. Are you serious?